Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, as a matter of fact, the next 3 days at this particular hour here on Verbling, we're going to do an in-depth look at gerunds and infinitives. We're going to look at information. We're going to practice making sentences. We're going to take little pop quizzes to broaden our understanding of when to use the gerund structure and the infinitive structure in English. Frankly, I've tried to do this class in a one-class setting a couple times here on Verbling, and I just found that that was completely inadequate. There's a lot more to it, and there's a lot of, frankly, there's a lot of exceptions and tricky little rules. Probably the most difficult part about learning gerunds and infinitives is learning that, in fact, what it boils down to often is the verb itself, or the main verb actually in the sentence, and can it be followed with a gerund or infinitive, or either? Because in some cases it will always be followed by a gerund, in other cases it will always be followed by an infinitive, and in probably most cases it could be either. Sometimes it absolutely does not change any meaning. Sometimes it changes the meaning completely. All of these things we're going to be looking at in the next 3 days. Okie doke. Hello, Alexander. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. Fine. Thank you. Very good. How are you?
I'm okay. It's obviously Monday. Yeah.
Evening for you. Is it evening for you?
No. It's morning. It's Monday morning. Monday morning. Yeah. Okay. Any case, welcome to the class. Hello, Heidi. How are you?
Hello. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. Welcome to the class. Also, Daniel is with us. Hello, Daniel. Hi there. Daniel, are you there? Daniel, I can't hear your microphone. Oh. Little clickety clack. I heard that just barely. Can you say something else? Hello, hello. Daniel?
I can hear you.
You can hear me, but I'm trying to hear Daniel. Hi, Max, by the way.
Hello, you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Thank you.
You hear me fine? Well, without other noises? Clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound far away, but I can hear you clear enough. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Javier. Welcome to the class. Hi there.
How are you doing, Oakley?
Okay, for Monday. Good. It's Monday here. And hello, Max.
Hello.
Hi there. Okay, lady and gentlemen, let's get started talking about these gerunds and infinitives. Okay. I'm going to do a screen share as I'm talking here. We're going to have you guys practice a little bit forming sentences with gerunds and infinitives, and maybe at the end of the class we'll do a short quiz, see if we get this. And of course, as I mentioned, tomorrow and the next day at this same time, we're also going to be looking at gerunds and infinitives. Today, more basic. The next couple of days, very particular and specific circumstances. All right, so Here we go. All right, again, starting with the basics. Daniel, if you wouldn't mind muting yourself, there's a little crashing and banging going on. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, first of all, what are they? Well, starting with gerunds. Very simple. A gerund is a noun which is made from a verb. It's not being used as the actual verb. All right? It's used as a noun, which we add the ing. Okay, so this is not the present participle which we use in a continuous verb tense, such as I am teaching the class. I am teaching the class, am teaching, of course, present continuous. Teaching is the main verb. A gerund is not the main verb. So, for example, the gerund form of the verb read is reading, not the verb to be and reading. Just reading, okay? Now, a gerund can be used as the subject noun of a sentence, as a complement or as kind of extra information, or as the specific object noun of the sentence. For example, reading helps you learn English. Okay, wonderful. There it is as the subject of the sentence. The main verb, obviously, reading is the subject. Helps is the verb. You is, here the object noun. All right. Ooh. All right. All right. Then we have learn. Okay. What is learn? Pop quiz. Getting ahead of ourselves. Who can tell me? Open question for the class. What is learn in this sentence?
Maybe also main verb.
No.
No.
Would it help you, Max, if I did this? Ha! Aha! Does that help? Reading helps you to learn English. We're getting ahead of ourselves. This is an infinitive form. All right. Now, infinitives come in two forms, with to, and then there's something called a bare infinitive, which has no to. All right. I'm getting ahead of our class, really, but we'll get to that in just a second. Hold on. All right. We're looking at gerund.
Okay.
Yes, Daniel.
Why, instead of saying reading helps you to learn English, we are not allowed to say reading helps you learning English? Why?
Learning English. Yeah.
Why not?
Well, that's the point, and it's probably going to take us 3 days of classes to figure that out. That's an excellent question. It's right to the point.
But there is a rule, or it's something that is like that because it is like that.
Well, it is like that because it is like that. Because, and I had mentioned this in my introduction, because helps. Can you use any ing after helps? Let's see.
It's like
soap helps cleaning your house. No, I just can't do it. Helps you to clean your house. Okay, longer legs help running. No, it helps you to run.
Yes.
Okay, so what it usually boils down to, in all these cases with gerunds and infinitives, we're going to be looking at special cases. There are special cases. Gerunds and infinitives is quite complicated. But for the most part, it's because of this verb. Because if we're going to have it follow a main verb as a complement or as an object noun, sometimes this main verb has to be a gerund, sometimes it has to be infinitive, sometimes it can be either. Again, sometimes it can be either and not change the meaning, sometimes it can be either but the meaning would change.
Yes.
And then we're going to look at other circumstances where we're going to talk about prepositions and following a preposition.
Okay.
All right, we'll get there. You just gotta kind of be patient. All right, her favorite hobby is reading. Okay, this is called the complement of the sentence. Basically, it's like an object noun. Very similar. Okay, I enjoy reading. Okay, very simple. That is obviously the object noun. All right. Enjoy being the verb. Now look with enjoy, Daniel, to further look at what you're talking about. I enjoy to read. Can I say that? Or a bare infinitive, I enjoy read? No, obviously not. So enjoy, we're always going to use a gerund after enjoy. Swimming, skiing, walking, reading, dancing, what have you. Obviously, any gerund can be made into a negative by adding not. Then that's quite simple. He enjoys not working. Okay. The best thing for your health is not smoking. All right, as a compliment. Let me quickly say hello to Xingyu. Welcome to the class. Hi, Xingyu.
Hi, teacher.
Hi there.
I enjoy
good to see
your
you again.
class.
Yeah. Thank you. And hello to Julio. Hi, Julio. How are
Hi,
you?
Oakley. I'm
Yeah.
just fine, thank you.
Great. Glad to hear it. Okay. More about gerunds later. Let's look at infinitives. What are infinitives? They are the to form of the verb. So the infinitive of the verb learn is to learn. An infinitive can also be used as the subject, the complement, or the object of the sentence, just like the gerunds. For example, to learn is important. Okay, yes, it can be used as the subject. The most important thing is to learn. The complement, he wants to learn, as the object of the sentence. And just like gerunds, of course, we can make negative infinitives. I decided not to go. Simple enough. The most important thing is not to give up. All right, as a complement there. Okay, let's look at this a little closer. Let's talk about the subjects. All right, both gerunds and infinitives can be used as the subject or the complement of a sentence. However, especially as subjects or complements, gerunds usually sound more normal, spoken English, informal, conversational, whatever you want to call it. You're going to see infinitives used in this way in textbooks. Philosophers, if any of you guys ever read philosophy, you're going to see a bunch of sentences with this structure. Famous quotes. To err is human, to forgive divine. Wonderful, but these are highly formalized structures and not normal. Making mistakes is normal. Forgiving is difficult. That would be a much more normal, informal, conversational way to say the same thing. Clearly, clear to me, hopefully clear to you, one is much more formal than the other. even as a complement behind the verb to be here. The most important thing is to learn. Oh, yes. Pot, pot. What? Right. Very formal sounding, and not really how we would express it in spoken English. All right? So in general, this is a general statement. This is no kind of a rule, guideline only. In general, as a subject or a complement, gerunds sound a whole lot more normal. In fact, if you're speaking and you use infinitives, it kind of sounds like you're talking down to people, like they're not too smart and you're much smarter than they are. So be aware of that in your spoken English. You sound a little pretentious using infinitives in that way. Plus, they're basically more abstract concepts when you're using them, which is why they'd be used in textbooks, etc. Okay. An infinitive, all right, here's another note, emphasizes the possibility or potential for something to be. So it's a lot more philosophical. Okay. So 90% of the time you're going to use gerund as a subject or a complement of a sentence. All right. So, for example, learning is important. Sure. All right. To learn is important. I can't help it. I have to have a funny accent when I read that. All right. The most important thing is learning. All right. If you're talking to your kid in a normal day, that's what you'd say. I would not be speaking to my, 4-year-old child saying, "Now look, honey, the most important thing is to learn." Okay, forget it. That would be a little silly. Okay, now the tough part. I'm gonna have you guys give this a whirl, give this a try. Looking at the object of the sentence, it is more difficult. Frankly, much more difficult to choose between a gerund or an infinitive. Now, I'm a native speaker. I do this automatically. I know what main verbs get followed with gerund or infinitive structures. For you guys, I understand it's much more difficult. Sometimes, and frankly, even for me, myself, when I'm having a difficult grammar structure problem, maybe even with gerunds and infinitives, sometimes just possibly a little clue to help you out. If you're having difficulty deciding, read it out loud to yourself and ask yourself, does this sound normal when I read it out loud? If it doesn't, then the chances are then that's not right. Okay, gerunds and infinitives are not normally interchangeable. However, again, sometimes they are. And as I've said before, the main verb in the sentence determines whether you use the gerund or an infinitive. Okay. He enjoys swimming requires a gerund. Enjoy. I mentioned that already. He wants to swim. Want always requires an infinitive. Is there any way to use want? I want eating. I want sleeping. No, not really. Okay. Let's see. Some verbs are followed by gerunds. Let's see. Okay, well, hang on. We'll try this in a second. Some verbs are followed by gerunds as objects. She suggested going to a movie. This is a very common one. I hear second language users make this mistake all the time. She suggested to go to a movie. Here's where it gets difficult, all right? Because you may actually hear native speakers make this same mistake. You're not supposed to use an infinitive after suggested. I've heard native speakers say she suggested to go to a movie. She suggested to bake the pie for 45 minutes. It should be she suggested baking the pie for 45 minutes. All right. This is another aspect of what gets confusing because you will hear native speakers make mistakes as well. Mary keeps. Now, Mary keeps talking about her problems. Mary keeps to talk about her problems. Just absolutely not going to work. Some verbs are followed by infinitives commonly. All right, we already looked at wants. She wants to go to a movie. Mary needs to talk about her problems. Mary needs talking. Now, you may hear that actually, but this is a Mary needs talking to. This is an expression that we use in English. The baby needs bathing. Well, okay, the baby needs to bathe. So I kind of disagree with this one. I think there's a kind of a specialized English structure in which we sometimes will use infinitives. All right, let's these are the basics. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what you guys can do. I'm going to go around and I want everyone is going to have a chance to make a sentence with a gerund and a sentence with an infinitive. And let's see what we come up with and what problems. Let you guys kind of take the direction of the class here and let you guys come up with some stuff. Let me quickly say hello to Carlos. Hi, Carlos. Welcome to the class.
Hi, thank you.
Nice to see you again. All right, I'm just going to go around in the order you guys came into class. So, Alexander, guess what? You're number one. Hey! Okay, Alexander. First, a gerund. So, everyone, I want you to start thinking about a sentence with a gerund, a main verb and a gerund, a main verb and an infinitive. Alexander?
I enjoy learning English.
Okay. Sure, we've got enjoy there. Okay, I got no problem with that. And an infinitive.
I want to eat. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely. Anybody, you guys are going to have a lot of questions. Everybody can ask questions whenever they want. Go ahead.
Actually, it's not a little bit not relevant. About suggest.
Okay.
My grammar book says, as you said, it shouldn't be used to after it. But I don't
Yeah.
remember one of verbal teacher. I don't remember who said me that it's okay.
Well, you know what?
don't
I think it's one of those. It's one of those things. See, this is where gerunds and infinitives are very confusing. I have to tell you that gerunds and infinitives, possibly above any other grammar subject or grammar problem, is an area where you run into this problem. The problem I'm referencing is the problem that grammar itself is evolving. So, for example, Alexander, I don't doubt your word at all. I would not be surprised if a 10-year-old grammar book says you should never have an infinitive after suggest. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if a grammar book which was released 3 months ago says on occasion it's okay to follow suggest with an infinitive. I would not at all be surprised if that were the case.
It's actually a pretty famous grammar book. It's Raymond Murphy for intermediate.
Yeah, I know that one. I have that in my bookshelf. On my bookshelf. Oops. Sorry. On my
The blue
bookshelf.
color.
Yeah, I'm
And
familiar with it.
We
no, it's
create rules
game.
to start use it right now, and
That's
after
right.
6 months,
There you
all
go.
words would be used.
We can conspire right now, all right? Conspiracy right here on Verbling. We can conspire as a group. We decide that we want to use infinitives after suggest.
So is it okay to use in speech too?
Okay, you know what I would do? I would think of it this way. As I said, I think maybe it's one of those things where it's strictly speaking, strict grammar rules, you shouldn't use it. But in speaking, it's okay. In other words, how I would translate that, if I were you, Alexander, I would never use it in writing. I would be careful to not follow the infinitive after suggest in writing, but I wouldn't worry about it in speaking.
Okay, actually,
Frankly.
that's what I wanted to clarify.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a very good question. It's very hard for me to answer because this is one of those things. You know, there's these things in English where there's grammar rules, but no native speaker actually follows them. So it's one of those crazy things. It's like non-continuous verbs. That's another one being used in continuous form. I don't know. It's one of those things. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Alexander gave us a couple using a couple of the verbs, and if you guys are more comfortable using the verbs that we've looked at in the examples, I'm okay with that. But if you want to get a little bolder and try some other main verbs so we can see what happens, kind of an experiment that we can do together, that would be cool as well. Heidi, can you give me a sentence with a gerund, please?
Passive is okay.
Yeah, sure, that'd be interesting. You guys do some interesting things here. This will help all of us, I think. Yeah, sure, great.
I don't like being cheated.
Okay. Okay. I don't like being cheated. Oh, it's interesting and a very normal sentence. Okay, we got, well, a negative verb. The gerund itself is not negative. Well, here we have the gerund of be. Okay. I don't have a problem with this. I like it. I don't like being cheated.
And we can say the infinitive. I don't like to be cheated.
Okay, let's take a look. I think you're right. I don't like being cheated. I don't like to be cheated. Is there any difference in meaning of these two sentences? Do you think?
No.
I agree. These mean the same thing. Okay, so here we go.
Are both correct?
They're both correct. They're both grammatically correct. This is very common with the verb to be, that it is very versatile, used as a gerund or infinitive. I don't like to eat dead fish. I don't like eating dead fish. So after like, actually, what we should concern ourselves more with is the actual main verb. Like, I like swimming. I like to swim. Like is one of the words that we can go either way. So, as it says here, gerunds and infinitives are not normally interchangeable. Well, let's make that red because it certainly seems to be in this case. These are not, don't take that statement as a rule. Clearly, it's not a rule. Merely a suggestion. Okay. Good job. Thank you. That was interesting. Daniel, what do you got for me? Can you try a gerund?
So, a gerund, you want a gerund. Well, let me think. I have a list of gerunds here. Well, perhaps with advice. The doctor generally advised drinking low-fat milk.
Generally. Oh, okay.
Drinking is a gerund. Generally
Generally low-fat milk?
advised
Yeah. Okay.
drinking low-fat milk.
Got it. Okay. Advise drinking.
Drinking is a gerund.
It is here for sure. Absolutely, and it's absolutely an object noun. I have no problem with this. Is it now here? Is it possible to say advise to
What?
drink? Yeah.
It's possible.
Okay, now here you've hit on something interesting. Is it possible to use this as an infinitive?
It's possible.
How would you have to do it though? There's
Oh,
something
if
special.
you want, I say you.
Yeah,
If you want, I say you another one.
sure. Yeah. Well, I'd like to know how you could use an infinitive in this case. The doctor generally advised. You can't really. You can, but you can't. All right. Well, hang on. All right. I can't say the doctor generally advised to drink. So in other words, I can't use it as an object noun. But I can do this. I can say he advised me. Now me is the object noun. To drink. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Well, now, in this case, this is a complement. This isn't the actual object noun. Me is the object noun of this main verb, advised. And this would be extremely common here. All right? Now, what is the difference between these two sentences, Carlos? What's the difference?
Yes, in the first one, the doctor says something on a statement, but it's not directed to me. The second.
It's a general statement. It even says
Yes.
general in it. Right.
In the second, he advised me that.
Personal. Right.
Yep.
In reality, it would even be weird to have the adverb advised there. A little weird. I mean, it's possible, but right. Generally works very well up here because that makes absolute sense. That's what it is, general advice. Okay, Daniel, did you have another one you wanted to try?
Yes, of course. For example, avoid. He avoided talking to her.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Yes, I have no problem with that. With the gerund, is it possible he avoided to talk to her? No. Avoid is one of the words where you definitely have to use a gerund. He avoided to run very fast. No. He avoided to work hard. No, 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 no. Avoided strongly has to be followed with a gerund. It sounds weird. Otherwise, it just sounds totally bizarre. Okay. Javier, can you start with a gerund here?
With a
Yeah.
well, jo joining the army is exciting.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but clearly joining your gerund, that is a gerund, but it's being used as the subject noun, right?
Okay.
It does the action. Joining is exciting. Okay, so that's a subject noun here, not an object noun. How about Javier? What if we make the army the subject?
Okay.
The army is exciting. Ah, can we have joining? What do you think of that?
The army is exciting. Joining? No.
No. All right. Can we do this?
The army is exciting to join.
Yeah. Okay.
Join, yes.
Okay. Now this is interesting. All right. Is exciting. Okay. Now, again, please don't be confused. Is exciting here? Okay. It's actually being used as a. Oh, is this? Oh, no. Okay, this is just simple present tense. This is not a continuous structure. Exciting is only an adjective here. Okay. All right. So, don't be confused about this. Exciting is not a verb here. It is not even a gerund. It is actually just an adjective. So that can be confusing. This is in both of these sentences, actually. Exciting is just an adjective. It is not used as an. It's used to describe something. It is describing the army.
Join.
Or join. Yeah, actually, you're right. Okay. All right, Javier, can you try one with an infinitive?
Well, I'd like to buy a new car.
All right. Great. I've been waiting for this. Okay, now here is something concrete I can show you guys. All right. I would like to buy a new car. I would like buying a new car. Is it possible to use a gerund here? I would like swimming across the ocean. I would like to swim across the ocean.
I think yes, we can use buying.
Buying, yeah, instead of to buy. I would like buying a new car. Yeah, actually you can. Okay, because we have like here. Oh yeah, like Heidi's examples, we can follow it with either. All right. Can we do this? Can we ever do this? I would liking. No. With a modal, I must, liking, I must, I would liking, I could liking, I may liking. This is another mistake that I often see, so don't do this. Do not attempt to follow a modal with I can swimming very fast. No, I can swim very fast. You cannot follow a modal. I've seen people try to follow a modal with an ing form. It's never going to work. There's a concrete suggestion I can give you. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't work at all. Okay, Max, what have you got? Can you give me a gerund?
Do you remember my example? This to achieving.
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I asked you a couple days ago. One of my obstacles to achieving my goal is money.
Okay. To achieving.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. I think this is day 3 of the gerunds and infinitives. Okay.
Is money.
Yeah, his money. Okay.
What about, it's possible to say one of my obstacles to achieve my goal is money. The same meaning or not?
All right. One of my obstacles to achieve my goal.
Isn't it better to remove the to here?
No. See, the problem here, and I think this is what I told you before, Max.
Yeah, collocation is obstacle.
Right, collocation with obstacle, an obstacle to something. We basically have to use the preposition after. Pardon me. It is very not normal to have. This is very, very unusual, which is why it came up a couple days ago. It's extremely unusual to see to before a gerund. This is a very unusual example. And the only reason we're doing it, an obstacle to something, we basically need to have to after obstacle. Obstacle achieve. It wouldn't make sense. One of my obstacles, achieving my goal? No. It's just we have to collocate it to make this mean anything. Now, okay, back to Max's question. One of my obstacles to achieve my goal. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that. I don't know why that would be
the same meaning.
I think so.
Okay.
Now, okay. This is just a weird thing here, frankly. It's because of this. I know why, but it's hard to explain why. Go ahead. Sorry, Julio.
Yeah, I think that the difference there is that to is being used as a preposition and not as a part of the verb achieve to make it an infinitive.
Yes, that's correct. You're absolutely correct. It is. To achieving my goal is a prepositional phrase. You're absolutely correct. It's a preposition, not a particle. A particle, all right. When what you consider as prepositions, when they're used as part of a verb, like in an infinitive, or in a phrasal verb, for example, then they are no longer prepositions. They actually are considered to be something else entirely. They are particles because they are actually part of the verb. So you're Julio's. That's a good way to express it. Thank you. To here is a preposition, beginning a prepositional phrase. It is not a particle. He's absolutely correct. Okay, Max, do you have another confusing sentence using infinitive?
No.
Come on.
I would like to come up with a new, very complicated sentence, but I don't have any one.
Okay, actually, this is good. Actually, that's a good one. It's good because it gives me an opportunity to show you something else here. Speaking of phrasal verbs, yep, that is an infinitive phrasal verb. Thank you. Actually, that's a good one. That helps me to point out that phrasal verbs, if you know anything about phrasal verbs, they can be any verb tense. They can also be used as gerunds or infinitives. I was coming up with a plan. Oh, no, that's a continuous tense. Sorry. He likes coming up with plans. He likes coming up with new ideas. There you go. He likes coming up with new ideas. That's come up, the phrasal verb used as a gerund. So actually, that was a good example because it helps me show that, in fact, phrasal verbs are used the same way. Okay, Xingyu. What can you come up with? Maybe try a gerund?
I consider moving to the USA because I can get more freedom speech than China.
Okay. All right. That's fine. If you don't, the rest of your sentence. All right. Well, okay. You said it also. How did you say it?
Because I can get more freedom of speech.
Okay.
Than in China.
All right. Okay. I consider moving to the. Okay. I consider moving to the USA. There's something strange here that has more to do with your main verb. Moving is very good use of the gerund here. It might be better to use a different verb tense instead of simple present. It may be better to say I am considering or I have considered. Well, actually, that's worth looking at. What if I change the main verb tense, perfect tense? I have considered moving to the USA. I am considering moving to the USA. I will have been considering moving to the USA before something happened. Really doesn't matter what I do with this main verb. Okay. Now, okay, Javier, I am considering. All right, you think. All right, you have considering, but as the main verb, so it's going to require the verb to be. So let me doctor that up. I am considering moving to the USA. Would it be okay, instead of a gerund, to have I am considering to move? And I'm considering to move to the... This is a tough one. Let's see. Is it possible to have, after consider, is it possible to have an infinitive?
No.
I don't think so. Nope. Not according to not according to my information. No, it's not. We can't do that, Javier. It's an interesting suggestion, but we just can't. After consider, it's got to be a gerund, and it doesn't. Again, it's worth looking at. Depending on Zinya's meaning, we can play around with the verb tense of the main verb, but still going to have to be a gerund. Okay, Zinyu, can you give me one with an infinitive?
Let me think about it. Peter, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little low, but I can hear you.
I pretended to be asleep.
Oh, that's good. Ah, that's an interesting one. Okay, pretend is the main verb, obviously. I pretended. Ah, now this is an interesting one. I pretended being asleep. Would that be okay?
Okay.
Do you think? Pretended being asleep. Yeah. Okay. All right. Pretend seems to be a verb that we can pretty much use. I think we can use with either a gerund or an infinitive. I pretended dancing, but it sounds weird a little bit. I pretended to dance. It sounds a lot better. Or another structure we would probably use, I pretended I was dancing, which, okay, which is actually two clauses. Or in this case, I pretended I was sleeping. Ah, no, that's interesting. Instead of saying I pretended sleeping, it would be much more normal to write it in this way. I don't think you can actually have a gerund after pretend. I don't think you're supposed to. Again, I think it's one of those things where you may hear it. Okay, Julio. Can you give it a try?
Okay.
Yeah.
He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain.
Oh, this is your quote over there. All right, I forgot to get to that. Who gives? Now, of course, obviously, this is quite formal style. Who gives what he cannot? I don't really understand this. Keep to gain? That it?
But then it continues with what he cannot lose.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, he is no fool. All right, then a relative clause. Who gives? Double relative. This is a very complex sentence. Keep to gain. So this is you're looking at the infinitive here. Gives what he cannot keep to gain. I don't even understand what that means, frankly. Who gives what he cannot. What he cannot keep. Oh. So, okay, the outer. All right. This is implied. In order. Is that it? That's the meaning. Who gives what he cannot keep in order to gain what he cannot
Maybe
lose. Okay. Now it's a lot clearer to me. Without any punctuation or without this, I have a hard time understanding this, but okay. Fine. He cannot keep.
Honestly, I couldn't understand the quote. That's why
I have to add
when I
to it.
bring it up.
He's this guy. Who is it? Jim Elliott? I don't know who this. Who is he anyway? Who's
He's
he?
like an evangelist that was killed while he was trying to evangelize Honduras or something like that.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, all right. He's an evangelist. That explains a lot. They're not known for their good grammar. I'm joking, but in any case, all right. Okay. Well, all right. He's using the infinitive here. Obviously, keep. Let's simplify that. Let's think about keep. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's difficult. He's using keep as in keep. I keep 3 cats in my bedroom. He's not. It doesn't. Okay. Keep has 2 meanings. I keep running into the door. Well, okay. I'm an idiot. I keep running into the bed. Okay. Very good. Well, would be very normal. Of course, it would be very weird to say I keep to run into the bed. That would make no sense at all. But I don't think keep in these 2 sentences means the same thing. Here, in my sentence, it means continue. Here, it means possess. Okay, he cannot possess. Ah, well, let's look at possess. I don't think you can use a gerund or an infinitive after the verb possess. Can you? Can anybody think of a sentence where you could use the word possess? Possess, running, driving, only if it's being used as an adjective. I possess flying birds, but that flying is an adjective. Is it possible to use possess or own? I possess.
You cannot own an action.
No, you can't. So that's weird. This is kind of weird. Your quote there. It's kind of bizarre.
Well, let's
what he
fix that.
cannot keep. Oh, okay. This whole thing is being used. This whole relative clause within a relative clause is being used. That which he cannot keep is the object noun. Ah. So really, this is a new clause. So to gain what he cannot lose is actually, I get it now. This is an infinitive used as a subject noun. In other words, although with a weird sentence structure. That's a weird one. So there you go. Well, there's something worth noting. Possess, own, keep. I don't think you can put anything. If you mean to possess, I don't think it's possible to own, to use any kind of gerund after that. Okay, Carlos, we've only got a couple minutes, but I want to give you your turn. You waited so patiently. Carlos?
Yeah, he finds playing the piano to be relaxing.
Okay. All right, that's a great one. Oh, you're going to throw everything in there. Ah, okay. We got a little everything going on. All right. He finds, obviously playing gerund. We can't say he finds to play. Oh, yeah, no, actually, we probably could. He finds that to play the piano is very relaxing. But here again, I'm throwing it into a relative clause, which is what we're doing later. We will be talking about gerunds and infinitives in other clauses. Today, we're just looking at object, basically subject and object, really. When we continue, tomorrow and the next day, we will start looking at how we can use them in other clauses. This is interesting, Carlos. Okay. To be relaxing. All right. Okay, this is an interesting structure. Okay. It works, though. There's nothing wrong with this sentence.
What about he finds to play the piano being relaxing?
Being relaxing. Now, here is what we're going to get into in the next couple days. The fact that there are gerunds and infinitives that can be passive. I think this is a passive gerund. There's such a thing as a perfect infinitive. All right, these special uses. What was your, Julio? I'm sorry. Got caught up in my own thing there. What was your question?
He finds to play the piano being relaxing.
He finds to play. I don't think you can do that. He finds to play the piano to be relaxing. I'm okay with that. There's an implied at here. To play the piano. What was it? To be relaxed? No.
Being relaxing.
Being. No, I don't think so. He finds it to play the piano being relaxing. No, that just doesn't cut it. That just simply doesn't make any sense. Being relaxing. That's a tough one. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I'm trying to think of even where you could say being relaxing. Why would you say that? It's whatever. A hot tub is relaxing. I can't say a hot tub is being relaxing. I know why. Because you can't use this structure. I don't think you can do this ever. Being, and then gerund. I don't think that's possible, frankly. He is being swimming. Why would you? Why would you? He is swimming. It is being relaxing as an adjective. Okay, anyway, we're way over time. I gotta go. Sorry. Hopefully we can come back to this tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. We're going to take it further. Hopefully I'll see you in class tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Bye.